Good morning, guys, girls. Rob with you here again. I was here lighting the midnight oil with you last night um, after the game. The game ended at 12:43 a.m. Eastern time, and it was it started with 8:17, 8:18, so a 4-hour, 20-minute dilemma there. Pretty much, it was that. I actually went about 4:25, I think. Um, and the Phillies win in extra innings, 6-5. The first three innings, if you watched that, Sean said it last night. After three innings, you ready to turn the TV off? Well, good morning, Alex. You ready to turn the TV off? 5-0. It's going to be a blowout. Who wants to watch it? The fourth inning came around. Phillies score three, and then keep you glued to the TV. And then fifth inning, they scored two, and then we go all the way till the 10th inning when JT Realmuto hits his home run, and wouldn't have had that chance um, without Castellanos, the great catch he made in the ninth inning. Castellanos' bat has been cold. Castellanos has not done anything much in the playoffs. That was a game-saving play. That is what happens. Definitely not watching College Game Day. This one, celebrity picker Stephen A. Smith. Big news out of Kansas State this morning. Adrian Martinez, I understand, was throwing the football in a tunnel this morning. Looks like he may start, but it looks like he could be limited on his snaps today. By all indications on Fox Sports 1, I'm hearing game time decision. I have not checked out ESPN, but from all accounts online, it says game time decision. Adrian Martinez of the Kansas State Wildcats. And don't forget, last week, he ended up getting knocked out of that game against TCU, and TCU only wins that game 38-28. Rob, what do you think will be the best game of the day today? Well, early on, if I'm home and I'm sitting at home, if I'm sitting here and I'm going to get to watch football today, the game I want to watch today, I want to watch TCU and West Virginia. Everybody's telling me West Virginia, West Virginia, West Virginia. I think TCU is going to be one of the last four undefeated teams. I really do. And they're getting no respect. They're getting no respect. Now, let's go through all of the teams. It's 5 undefeateds playing today. And then if I have a guest, and I'd love to have a guest on here with me. We'll see. I'll send a bunch of invites out. This is when I love to have somebody helping me out on Saturday morning. So we'll see what happens. Let's go through all 5 games. I think if the Phillies win the World Series, they need to lock up a manager for a while. Well, they've already signed him. They've already signed him to a 3-year deal. If they win the World Series, they need to spread out 5 more years and add $4 more million a year to it. Yeah, I'm with you, Alex. Certainly. It'll only be their second World Series win since 1980, and it lasts 40 years. Yeah, he seems to be doing pretty well. They like playing for him. That's the main thing. One of these days we're going to get Alex on here with us. Now, right now would be a low-stress time to have Alex on here with me. I'd be asking him something, he could be answering it for me. See? Let's see. Okay, first off, we got TCU at West Virginia. Look here. Here's speaking of help. Look here, coming right here. There we go. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
All right. What I want to do this morning is we got 5 games today that include undefeated teams.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want to rank the best chance of getting beat down to the lowest chance of getting beat. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We won't talk about them until we finish all of them. We got Keith coming on here with us too. Here comes Keith.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
What we're gonna do?
You tired, Tim?
I didn't really sleep all that well, I guess we'll say.
Oh, I slept a nice sound sleep after that ball game last night.
I was out by 10:45. I didn't make it.
I literally just got up. I mean, I
yeah, me
I
too.
was
I
up
hadn't been up
until
long
after
either.
midnight, and then I woke up a little bit later. But well, I woke up actually early. I woke up like 5:30. I thought I was going to get up, and then about half an hour later, I thought, "No, I'm going back to sleep."
And that's a good way to do on a Saturday.
But Tim,
morning if
I
you
got
get
my
a chance
CPAP
to.
now, and I've used it 2 nights.
It's working well for
working
you.
pretty good, yeah. Working pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, I guess you'd already heard who won last night and how
Yeah.
it happened.
Also,
Yeah.
the funny, interesting thing is, I guess the umpire let out a curse word if you saw the international feed. He goes, "No way that fucking hit him. Get back in the box."
Oh, yeah. But let me ask this question. I was asked this one last night on the live feed.
Well, he stuck his elbow out.
Right, yeah.
Should that not be a strike? Think about it. Think about it. If he's got his from
because there's no way that should be ball 4. If it's
that was ball 3. It was ball 3. But let's say the width of the plate. Let's say the width of the plate should be a plane right there, and the umpire said he couldn't see the ball coming. That's how much his elbow was in the way. He couldn't even see the ball coming. Then he called it ball 3, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, let's say he does this bullshit again and puts his elbow over there for ball. What the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it all day long. That should have been a strike.
Or at least should have been a foul ball or no pitch or something like that.
We'll talk about the Heisman race in a little bit, but right now I want to talk about the 5 undefeateds playing today. We're going to rate them 1 to 5 as to the chances of these teams getting beat today. I will give you all 5 games, and then we'll talk about them. We got TCU traveling to West Virginia, so it is an undefeated team on the road. We've got Ohio State going to Penn State, another undefeated on the road. We've got Florida playing Georgia at a neutral site, Jacksonville. AEW will love that this week, and we have Kentucky going to Tennessee. So Tennessee's getting to play at home, and Michigan gets to play at home against Michigan State. Now, number 1, you put that around the team that you think is as a lock, is a absolute. Oh my God! Find a milk carton. Find a damn milk carton, folks. Welcome, Matt Sharver. Look at here.
We don't need the milk carton anymore. We found the guy.
Find a milk carton. The milk carton. We don't need it anymore. Number 1, he's driving down the road, and number 2, we don't know where he's going, but he's going to tell us. Where are you going to, Matt?
I'm going home. I was out running my errands.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. What we're doing is we're ranking the 5 undefeated teams today. A 1 means I don't think one of them will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the one at number 1 means I don't think he can get beat. Number 5 is the one in most danger today. The 5 undefeated games are TCU at West Virginia, Ohio State at Penn State, Florida at Georgia, Kentucky at Tennessee, Michigan State at Michigan. So, of those 5, who is in the most trouble as far as, it could trip up and lose? Tim?
I'm going to say Tennessee.
Tennessee. You think Kentucky has the best chance right there of tripping up and making them fall? Keith, who would you say today has the best chance of getting beat?
I'm going to go with TCU.
Think West Virginia can do it at home, huh?
I don't. Well, no, right. But I mean that's the one I think that has the best chance to win.
I got you, Matt. Who you think, my friend?
I'm with Keith. I mean, I don't think any of them are going to lose, but if I had to choose, I would say TCU.
Okay, and let's see. You notice nobody said Georgia. everybody right now knows Georgia, I think, is a solid team. Nobody's saying Michigan either. I mean, Michigan State's not going to beat them. Wow. I don't like I say. Boy, oh boy. I only went with one dog this week. I guess I'll ride with that dog. I'll say Michigan State. I don't think they've got the chance, but TCU's not losing to West Virginia. I just don't see it. TCU, to me, I think they'll have the widest margin of victory of all 5 of the teams. I really do think so. I think it's be a really, really tough week for West Virginia. Jimbo Fisher's the seat is getting hotter and hotter on him. He may be out before the end of the year. It would not surprise me. And that's $7.5 million a year right now. They'd be, he signed a 10-year, $70 million contract with a sign-on bonus. That's a tough thing. That's a tough one there to bite into and eat. But they lost three freshmen this week, got kicked off the team, or they got suspended indefinitely for actions detrimental to the team. We're finding out now that it was actually they were doing some stuff within dorm rooms and stuff right there, and said, "You can't do anything to me. I am a football player," and that's exactly the words one of them used. That ain't gonna roll well at A&M. Kyle Field has always been a place where, if one of the top 5 places hard to play, and it's not becoming that way anymore, and it's getting bad. Adrian Martin,
Saban talking again.
Saban.
Yeah.
What did Saban say?
Well, he had a thing going there when he said that they were buying their players or something. So
they had that
6 months feud
ago.
going.
6 months. Oh yeah. He doesn't like him at all. Kansas State's quarterback, Adrian Martinez, I'm understanding it's maybe a game time decision today. I had heard he was probable and going to play a number of snaps, is what I'd heard earlier, last night. Now I'm hearing he's a game time decision, and we'll see what happens there. They need him. Now, this is his 9th year of playing in college football. He played 4 years and a half for playing for Nebraska, and then he transferred portal, and he's been playing 3 years now for Kansas State. And the 29-year-old,
We'll be talking about him a decade from now, huh?
Oh yeah, we've been talking about him. Him and Bo Nix both been playing for 10 years. They're almost ready for their Social Security, so watch out for that.
They'll retire before Tom Brady, maybe.
Yeah. And Brady's got to soon, man. It's getting really bad.
Yeah.
It really is. It's starting to show, and that's the sad part. It's starting to show on him. So we'll see what happens there. Thursday night, NC State wins 22-21. And, 3 of us took Virginia Tech, and they went over. So Rob, Mike, and Harris all went with the over there. Bob went with over, Larry over, Tim over, Keith over, but they picked the wrong team. Utah was a -8 going to Washington State.
And that was before we found out that the starting quarterback wasn't going to play.
Right. And we didn't know he wasn't going to start. And it affected them 21-17. And Keith ended up getting the game and the under. Larry went with the under. Mike went with the under. So Keith ended up getting 3 points. And Mike got 3 points so far. And Larry got 2. I got 2. Harris got 2. Tim's gotten 1 so far through 2 games. So pretty cool. How far you got to drive home, Matt? Oh, Nay's on mute.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
No, we can't hear Matt. He's on mute. Can't hear you. He's like, how in the hell can't you hear me?
Or maybe he's not hearing us. I don't know.
I don't know. Can you hear us? Shake your head if you can hear us. Shake your head. Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. I don't think he can hear us. Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. Matt?
That's probably not
Matt Sharver, Halloween is coming your way. Matt Sharver, we can't hear a damn thing that you say. We can't hear him either. No, we can't hear Matt, so we can no longer hear. Yeah, he's. I don't know what the hell. Let's see. I didn't mute him. I didn't mute him. See,
No.
I can mute on this end. I can mute anybody I want to. So
And he's not muted either, so you'd have the
No.
microphone with the X.
right, something's going on. Next level nonce. What's up?
So second game is still do the rest of that, or
Do what?
we still going to do the rest of those college games that are the most likely to get upset out of the
Yeah. So I liked, like I say, I will. Okay, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. The next or if you want to go with least likely, let's say least likely now, Tim, to lose of the 5 power or
Georgia.
5 Georgia, Keith.
For some reason, I want to say Michigan.
Really? I'm gonna say Georgia also. I think Georgia. I really do think so. I think they really, really are up there. The next unlikely team. Now, Tim, you've said Georgia already. Who would be your next?
So we're starting.
Because
We're
they're
at the
playing
other
at
end.
home,
What?
Michigan.
Huh?
Only because they're playing at home. I believe they're playing
Home.
home Michigan.
Keith. So
That's where I would put Georgia.
that's where you put Georgia. I'm gonna put Ohio State now. I'm gonna put Ohio State right there. All right, the one right in the middle, Keith.
Ohio State.
Ohio
So
State.
it's Ohio State, and then
Then Tim, you going with Ohio State there?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then I'll put the Baylor.
I gotta put
It's not
who
Baylor.
the hell? Who am I gonna put there?
Baylor wasn't one of them, was it?
No. It was TCU. TCU. at number-
TCU. Yeah, Baylor's gotten beat. And
Yeah.
in fact, we don't have Baylor this week. Liberty looks like they may squeeze into the top 25 next week. If they do, we
the problem
may-
is I think 2 teams would have to lose because Texas was right on the brink, and they would probably get back in if they win and
yeah,
the team falters. And like Mississippi State's, I think 24. If they lose again, then they would be. I think Texas would leapfrog unless both teams could get in. Then that could
right.
that'd be a different possibility.
If any of those teams way down there, I don't know where they're at.
Well, essentially, the 2 that could jump are Liberty and Texas.
Yeah, and if
Everybody
they're
else
able
is not
to,
like single votes.
and if they're able to, then they've got Arkansas next week. That should be a really, really fun game. And then
That should be one that if they win could get them into the top 25. But then
Liberty's off. Liberty's off.
right.
this
But
week.
next week if they win, that they could.
Oh yeah, it definitely would. I would think so if they beat Arkansas.
Is there
The-
any
at
talk of
12
Liberty
o'clock-
maybe switching conferences based on their?
Oh well, yeah. They already are heading to Sunbelt next year, and
Okay.
I think it's Sunbelt. And Hugh Freeze, the
Got
big
an
news.
extension, yeah.
Well, the big news is he's thinking about leaving to go to West Virginia. That's
Oh,
the
boy.
news. I mean, you just have made this team a power, or at
Mhm.
least, and then I hate seeing them stay 5 years and leave, but he's helped do it. He's helped do it.
Well, that's the cycle of life for any small college coach. You get a team build up, and then you take a job.
4 years and you're gone. Yep. You're, let's see. Keith took Notre Dame. Me and Tim both took Syracuse. All right, devil's advocate, Tim. In order for Notre Dame to beat our team, the one we picked this week, don't you think I think they're going to have to probably run for a couple hundred yards in order to beat them. What do you think? I really think so. I don't think they can throw the football. and beat this team. I don't think
Yeah,
so.
they'll definitely have to control the clock because we know the Syracuse defense is, well, besides that last bit against Clemson, is really stout.
Yeah, and at home they really are good.
Right.
Yeah, and then Keith, for your Notre Dame team to get beat, for Syracuse to win, what Syracuse you think got to do in order to beat the team that you picked?
I actually think it more depends on how Notre Dame's offense plays. I think if they're able to get their tight end involved a lot, which was just what I was kind of banking on.
And he's a
If
big
they can
kid,
take their
too.
tight end away from them, then I think that's the key for Syracuse. And then, of course, they're going to have to. Their offense has got to. That's the other thing. I mean, Notre Dame's defense at times, to me, seems like they played fairly well, but it's not. It wasn't one of those things where I don't think Syracuse has a chance. It was just kind of a pick 'em to me, and I'm just gambling that Notre Dame will be able to run the ball well enough and get their tight end involved enough, and the defense will keep them in it.
Yeah. Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Rob, Keith, Tim.
Hey,
Good
Brian.
morning. Ohio State. Who is Jackson Smith Najigba?
Yes. Njigba, yes.
Is he a receiver?
Yes.
And Jim Boy's a receiver, yeah.
Yeah, and he's out today. So,
Wow. They thought he was going to play today, too.
yeah. Now, has anybody heard anything about Adrian Martinez of Kansas State? Last I'd heard, he was a game-time decision. But you got something, Tim?
Give me a few minutes. I'm watching game day right now.
As of last night, I'd heard he was going to play a limited number of snaps. That's what I was hearing last night. I got that like 10 o'clock while I was watching the baseball game last night. And then I was like, wow, he's really upgraded a lot because Thursday they said put him as doubtful. And then Friday night they had him playing limited number of snaps. I'm kind of thinking today they're going to end up waiting until a game time.
Game time decision.
Yeah, and I'm thinking he probably won't play now, but we'll see. Because can you afford your quarterback against a top 15 team to be limited? I mean, can he be 60%? Yeah, 60% Patrick Mahomes is better than most 100%, but Adrian Martinez is not that. Adrian Martinez is a scrambling type quarterback, and one more hit could be his season where if he takes the week off, they may be able to do something. I think there's a good chance he won't play today. I really do. I think there's a wonderful chance he does not play. Let's go around the country right now and give the weather. Tim, Cleveland weather right now. Rain, snow, sun, windy, temperature. Go for it.
Sunny and 51 degrees.
Sunny and 51. Kansas City, Brian.
Well, that's beautiful and probably going to be in the 60s today.
Okay. Keith, out there in Louisiana.
Right now it's cloudy, supposed to get to partly sunny later, high of 75, current temperature 71.
Here in the southern part of Virginia, we got about 10, 15 mile an hour winds today. Cloudy. It's about 54 degrees outside. It's cool. It's a chilly day. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
It did rain a little while ago.
And we're supposed to actually get our rain. I think Halloween Day, Monday, is the day we're supposed to get our rain. But it was a huge storm going on outside of Houston last night, and a lot of folks were saying that they should have opened the gates to the World Series earlier. They opened them up hour and 45 minutes prior to game time, or 2 hours now, I think, due to the World Series. But they were saying the people standing outside just getting soaking wet. Yeah,
It's called be prepared.
Yeah, you're right, but at least they do have a dome, and that's one good thing. So that was closed last night. They're understand they're going to have it open tonight if all weather holds up tonight. Did you watch the whole game last night, Brian?
I died at 11 o'clock Central Time and missed the 10th inning.
Oh, okay, yeah. JT Real Muto hits the opposite field run into about the second row. and the ball bounces back onto the field, and we're like, oh geez, we thought it hit the top of the wall and bounced back into the field of play. We see where it hit Fat Albert in the second row there, and right in the gut, and it bounced right back out there. So
Yeah, JT had a great game, and I think that guy on the throw to second base where he caught the ball, the guy was sliding. I think he was out.
he looked out.
It
That
was
was
really
awful.
close, but yeah, it looked
It
like it kind of
was.
bounced off his knee right
It
into
looked
the
like it
glove.
was a little bit of a space.
The ball
Tim,
has to be in the
did
back
you see
of the
that
glove.
play?
Yeah, the ball has to be in the back of the glove before it's I think it was there.
I think he was out too. And I'll tell you what, if you did not watch that ninth inning play by Nick Castellanos in right field,
what a play.
that saved the game. That
Yep.
saved the game. I mean, that's what MVPs are made of. You don't have to go, you don't have to go 10 of 25 in the series and knock in 7 runs. That saved the game. That was a game saver.
Fun fact
To me-
about Castellanos, he came up with the Detroit Tigers.
Right.
And his debut game was the same day that Lori and I were out there watching the Royals play the Tigers. And we got on the bus to go back to our hotel, and Castellanos' dad was sitting across from us. And he told us about his son playing for the first time and some of the promises that the Tigers made to his son. Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Wow.
He was dad.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about him. I'm not. Let's say it this way: if the Phillies announced at the beginning of spring training they traded him, got rid of him, I wouldn't be so upset.
Yeah, it's up here, I know.
He's just one of the players. I don't know. He's got that little nippy way about him. I don't know, but he saved that game last night. Justin Verlander's career World Series earned run average is 6.07. How about that? 6.07. The Chiefs are trying to get Tyreek Hill back. Okay, I had not heard that. Have you heard that one, Brian?
No, they got Kadarius Toney yesterday.
Yeah, it says right here the Chiefs have been in talking to the Dolphins about a Tyreek Hill trade. Hill wasn't happy when he left, though, was he? I mean, wasn't he kind of?
Who said that? Where were you reading that?
Alex right here in the chat right here put it up here and said something about. And he's generally on top of things. It says right here, Kansas City Chiefs have been talking to Miami Dolphins about Tyreek Hill trade.
I'm not sure we need him.
Yeah.
We still have number one offense. We need help on the defensive line.
Yeah.
Our 2 offensive tackles have been Wiley is not a true tackle. He's an offensive guard playing tackle. We need some help with tackle.
The game you're going to be watching today at noon, Tim, is it that Ohio State Penn State game?
Tim will not be watching any football at noon because Tim will be busy playing pinball.
Oh, okay. Keith, how about you? Are you going to watch a noon game?
Probably. I'll probably kind of just check, see what's going on, and try to find a game that's competitive.
All right. So all of them 0-0 when they start. Which one do you think you'd start watching?
What ones are starting at noon?
You get the Ohio State Penn State game. You get the TCU West Virginia game. You get that Notre Dame Syracuse game. You got Cincinnati UCF game. You got Oklahoma State Kansas State. All those games start at noon today.
I might start with a Notre Dame Syracuse game.
Yeah, you know what that one and the TCU game for me. How about Brian? Which game if you're watching any of them today? At noon?
Yeah, I'm thinking Ohio State. I've got family back there. My sister used to work for Ohio State University.
Now, who will you root for?
I'll be rooting for Ohio State, and I'm very impressed. When my sister passed away in 2002, and she lived about 30 miles from the campus.
Okay.
And I think about 60 of her coworkers from Ohio State came to her funeral. I was very impressed by that.
Oh, okay.
Really
Wow. 14.5-point favorites, and everybody this week that made picks on the channel went with Ohio State. So,
I'll
yeah,
bounce back and forth. I'll check out some of the K-State OSU game and keep going on the Syracuse game too.
Right now, how far is K-State from you?
KU
Maybe
is
hour and a half.
K-State's about an hour, 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And Notre Dame Syracuse to me really, really, I really think Syracuse can win this game outright. I really do. I think they have a legit chance. You talk about a team. One of the hardest places to play is in Syracuse. Some of the domes are not that hard to play at, but that was a pretty impressive place to play. We'll see how well
That
Notre
would be
Dame.
an iconic place to visit. Has anybody here been to the Dome?
No.
Well, in Syracuse?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Yeah, I'd like to visit that place someday if I'm up that way.
And it said, rest in peace, Vince Dooley.
Yes,
Dooley.
the former Georgia coach passed away yesterday,
Yeah.
along with
Okay.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah.
TCU. Of all of the 5 games, all the 5 undefeateds today, Brian, which one do you think has the best chance of losing?
I don't think any of them are going to lose, actually.
We don't think so either, but
Yeah, it's hard to say. TCU they're hard to tackle. They've got some receivers, you got a dependable quarterback, and they played some defense. So, yep.
So they're playing West Virginia. Ohio
No, I
State.
don't think West Virginia's going to beat them.
I don't think so either. I really don't think that they're the best chance of losing. Ohio State, Penn State is another one. Florida and Georgia. Kentucky,
Georgia
Tennessee.
scares me sometimes. Missouri almost beat Georgia.
Yeah.
Why? That could be
Kentucky, Tennessee, and Michigan State, Michigan.
Michigan's rolling, I think.
Yeah. I just Florida scares me because of that Richardson kid quarterbacking them.
Yeah.
He is just indecisive. He throws the ball in triple coverage. He to me, he's not the future of this team. I don't think anyway. Kentucky quarterback. Kentucky beat Tennessee the last 2 times they played them? Yeah. Last 2 times they've played Tennessee, they've beaten them. Now they're going to Rocky Top today, but this kid that they've got quarterbacking for him threw for 335 yards last year. Now this is a totally different animal this year with Tennessee too, because to me, they've got right now, to me, the Heisman leader, Hendon Hooker. I think if the season ended today, Hendon Hooker wins the Heisman running away with it, just because Ohio State's quarterback hadn't played anybody yet. That's the problem there. They have not played anybody. And Tennessee's played some good teams so far, and they've beaten them.
They have played some good teams. My wife's out shopping, and she just texted me, do I want to buy this shirt? It's the Philadelphia Phillies shirt.
Oh, wow.
Should I say yes or no on it?
Is she just joking with you?
No, she's for real.
Okay. Now, are you do you like your Phillies, or you just?
Actually, I do. I like most baseball teams. There's a few I can't stomach, but
Keith says he
Astros
can't.
is one of them.
Keith says he doesn't like the Dodgers too much. How about you? About the Dodgers?
I lived out there for 8 years. And
so you liked it. You
so
played.
I like the Angels too. I was a baseball coach out there, and they gave me they gave all the high school varsity baseball coaches a free pass to the game, so I always enjoyed the Angels for that.
How about the Yankees? Do you like the Yankees?
Yes, I do. I saw.
Wow! Okay. Now, tell us the story behind why you like the Yankees.
Well, I've always liked Mickey Mantle.
Okay.
And I saw them pitch in person. The first thing that attracted me to the Yankees is that Whitey Ford's birthday is October 21st, the same as mine.
Oh, so you just had a birthday. Happy birthday to you.
So when I was a kid, I did get a chance to see him pitch in person in 1961. He was a Cy Young Award winner. I didn't see Mantle. That was after his sickness or after his infection, so I didn't see him play, but I saw Maris and I saw Whitey Ford. So that's why I'm a Yankee fan. Always have been.
Yep.
The only thing I didn't like the Yankees is I was never a fan of Billy Martin.
Oh, okay. Let's see. If all the teams out there, which is one team I dislike the most? Orioles.
Really?
Oh my God, I was pushed with them, and I don't like. The one thing, the streak I thought was just so overrated. I'm sorry. The length of time that you play should not have any bearing on you making a Hall of Fame or anything. And I got sick of watching Cal Ripken Jr. I don't like Earl Weaver.
Wow.
No. When I go there, I bear for arms, buddy, because you better believe I boo them. I don't just sit there. I boo them. I'm like, yeah, let's.
Cal Ripken was an inspiration to me. I worked at General Motors, and I looked at him playing through little injuries and keeping his Iron Man streak alive. I kind of thought of myself the same way. I wanted to go to work every day. I did that for 5 years, and then that streak was broken. But he was a real inspiration to me.
Oh, okay. Now, all right. Let's see. Let me think of a team. Oh, it's got to be St. Louis, and you must have hate St. Louis.
I loved him in the 60s when they had Harry Carey. I used to listen to him on the radio.
Okay.
I did not like the White Rat too much until they came to the Royals, Herzog. But I wouldn't say I hate the Cardinals. I kind of like them.
Okay. Now, Keith, you're not a big Dodger fan, you say?
I don't hate the Dodgers, but what I was talking about was I normally root for the National League team in the World Series.
And you said if
the Dodgers are the sometimes exception. I might root for them against the Yankees or something, but it's just.
You go root for them if they sign Aaron Judge?
I personally don't think they'll sign Aaron Judge. I don't think the Dodgers get him. I think another team is in the hunt, and I think another team gets him. I think he's going to San Francisco. That's where I think he'll go. That's where he's from. So we'll see. Tim, the one baseball team, when you turn it on, you're like, good. I'm booing again. Boo.
I'm going to check out. My dad's calling. I'm going to talk to him.
All right.
For a while.
Go for it, Tim. Go for it, Keith. We might still be here. Tim, the one team that you're just like, okay, I can't root for this team is?
Either the Yankees or the Red Sox.
Oh, okay. See, now I'm a Red Sox fan. I was. And how about you, Brian? Red Sox.
I like the Red Sox. I like them in the 60s. I've got a lot of subscribers up that way.
I like the Red Sox. Let's see who is my Red Sox. Probably my favorite team before I moved to Philadelphia, and I acquired that taste. I really did. I had never really thought about being a Phillies fan. And then I met my wife, and we went to some games before we even got married. And I think that they really pushed me over the edge there. I liked the Dodgers growing up. I really did. I liked Ron Cey. Something about him. It was just I was little bitty too. When I graduated high school, Brian, I was 5'7". I weighed 140. Mm-hmm. And now I'm 6'4" and I weigh 260. So when I was 21, I was just maybe 6 foot tall. I kept growing until I was probably 25.
Wow.
And I was just one of the youngest, one of the shortest kids, and I just didn't weigh anything. And so I always liked to pick at the guy that was like, and they like to pick on Say a lot. And I liked him. So.
My oldest boy was 5'7" when he was a freshman in high school. And then all of a sudden he hit his growth spurt and he was 6'2" by the time he got out of his sophomore year.
Wow. So he grew about 5, 6, 7 inches in a year and a half.
I mean, he get up on the morning and I said, holy cow.
Now, did he play basketball?
Should have.
Oh, okay.
He was a really good baseball player. I think when he was playing in high school, he was the top shortstop in the state.
Really?
And he got a scholarship to go to college. But his best sport was actually basketball. But he went to a nearly all-black school. It kind of had a racist coach. He never had a white kid on his basketball team because he wanted the scholarships to go to black kids. He went out for basketball his senior year. Before that, he went to a clinic back east, at a college back east, that had 200 high school players at that clinic. He was the only one that was not actually on a varsity team, and he came home with the most valuable player trophy. He was a very good basketball player.
Wow. Retro replays Minnesota, or MN says, Minnesota really needs to win this one against Rutgers today. Retro, you might want to hold your ears for a second. Minus 14.5 points. I took Rutgers this week.
To
now
win or
Tim
to cover?
To cover. But I think they're going to make a game of it. I really do. I don't think it's going to be double digits by win. I think it may be a touchdown, if anything. I think it's going to be a good game. I really
But
do.
he is right that the Gophers do need to win this after 2 straight disappointments. Trust me, we were on their bandwagon, and then they lost 2 straight.
Yeah.
We jumped off of that.
I hope Aaron Judge doesn't go to the Dodgers, says Alex. I will say he's going out west. I think if he was going to stay with the Yankees, they would have signed him and had him signed by now. Where do you think Aroldis Chapman signs next year?
The Cuban national team.
Huh?
The Cuban national team.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough sell the way he left.
That's a very tough sell. Number one, he came in the one season like jacked for some reason, like all muscled up.
Yeah.
Then like he's lost something. Either he's problem is he throws it straight now. He doesn't have anything like that changes the eye levels. That father time has caught up with him.
Right. So the speed is all you got to catch up with. It's not so much. He doesn't have a lot of movement on his pitches like some of the guys. It's 100 miles an hour. Like Alvarado, he threw one last night 102. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you get jacked up like that? I mean, that's crazy. Hurricanes will start Jake Garcia today with Tyler Van Dyke injured against Virginia.
Yes. Well, injured body and injured pride after 8 turnovers last week. Oof.
Yeah. Miami's coach, I'm not going to say he's on the hot seat, but
he is.
You think so? But A&M's coach is. Jimbo Fisher, he better almost win out now, because I think if he doesn't, he's going to get fired. And that's going to be a tough sale to get anybody to try to go there. Jackson State, ESPN's there today at Jackson State, trying to figure out where they think
Sanders will go. Yeah.
Yeah. Where is he going to end up going to? I guess the obvious choice would be if he wanted to try to go to Miami, or A&M's going to be open for him. But the good thing for him, if he went to, let's say he went to Texas A&M, the transfer portal heading to A&M would be a stockpile of players. You got players from Jackson State right now that are in their first and second year, that would be, or third year even, that would have I saw where Liberty and Hugh Freeze agreed to an 8-year extension, but I also heard where West Virginia has offered Hugh Freeze a 5-year deal for $70 million. So we'll see what happens there. You can sign a contract 1 week. That's the one place you can do it. You can't be a baseball player, you can't be a football player, but you can be a head coach anywhere. You can throw that contract to the side and go to somewhere else anytime you want to. I always thought
universities will usually pay out the payout fee. That's right. So we'll see. We'll see what Liberty does next week against the Razorbacks. They get the Hogs next week. Volunteers wide receiver Cedric Tillman to return versus Kentucky after missing 4 games. That's like and
stacking.
They're getting one of their safeties back as well. So
yeah. This time next year, Jimbo will be the offensive coordinator for Alabama. I don't know about that. I don't know if they'll take him back right there. That Jimbo's got a lot. No. Jimbo and he's not going to work for Alabama again. No, because Jimbo and Coach Saban, they've had their spars this year, and if you hadn't seen that, he's talked about they said something about Saban said something about if you really want to go somewhere, go to Texas A&M. They have the best paid players out there, and he said that. I heard that. So said the best players money can buy. That's what he said. And so now Jimbo Fisher will not be working for Alabama if Saban is there. It won't happen. That just will not happen.
let's see. Illinois today is playing Nebraska. That's another one that kind of, Tim likes Illinois in this. I like Nebraska in this game. I actually think Nebraska comes out and maybe even wins outright. I know Illinois has played great this year. Illinois has played so far over their heads. Right now, they would be the Big Ten West representative in a championship game. So that would be pretty good there. USC coming off a loss. Do they lose to Arizona tonight?
No,
I don't think they do either. They're 15-point favorites. But,
all right. Guys, I'm going to get going. I got to head off to go play pinball. So
Tim's a big pinball guy. Brian, I ain't going to hold it. Maybe hold him like 1-2 more minutes, and we'll head out of here if you want to.
Okay.
All right. The game that of all the games today, which one do you think could be the best game as far as most exciting to watch?
Well, I think Penn State Ohio State has a chance.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think Penn State keeps it within 2 touchdowns?
But no, I'm not enamored with Ohio State's defense.
Oh, you're not? We'll see. I'm not sold on Penn State's offense after the way they played against Michigan, but I'm one of the few. I'm one of the few who says I think Michigan may be the best team out there right now, including Georgia, including Ohio State. I'm one of the few that say that. But I still, even saying that, I said today, watch out. Watch out for Michigan State. Michigan State they play them tough. They beat them the last 2 times they played them. And anytime you're talking rivalry game, it looks like even the worst of worst teams and the best of best teams kind of fade into all big clump. And I just, I took Michigan State is 21.5 points is what they were giving me. So I took Michigan State and all those points. I don't think they lose to Michigan, but I think it could be a 10-point game come fourth quarter. We'll see what happens there.
I'll follow Michigan a little bit. The receiver, Ronnie Bell, is from Park Hill in Kansas City. He's quite a receiver.
Is he good?
Oh, he's very good. He's been injured last year, but he's back this year and he's been well.
Is a kid from Virginia, the safety. He's not a kid.
Juan Thornhill.
Huh?
Juan Thornhill.
Yes, is he playing well for the Chiefs?
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Is he? Okay. Yeah,
he's kind of challenged. They've got 2 rookie corners. Actually, we're going to have a 3rd rookie corner. He's been injured, the number 1 draft pick, McDuffie.
So he's kind of getting spread thin on the field, not be able to take. He's got to kind of help out some spots.
He does.
Yeah.
He'll hit you. He's.
Oh yeah. And he was a quarterback across town over here when he played.
Uh-huh.
And he could throw the ball 50 yards in the air. Oh yeah, he was pretty good. I'm going to watch a little bit of football today, and then tomorrow's games. Wow. You took Eagles just like I did. I just don't see the Steelers hanging with that team. Do you?
No.
No, I just think they're overmatched.
There used to be a team called the Steagles.
Steagles, really?
They combined those 2 teams in World War II for a year.
Wow, for 1 year. Was that like 1943? Wow.
They called them the Steagles.
And Sean D says, I'm going to go watch curling. Curling, that's what do we call it here? Sticks and brooms and sticks.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we call it here. That's wild to watch. I don't know if I'm that crazy about it. Who you think wins tonight? Phillies have Wheeler on the mound, and the Astros have Framber Valdez on the mound. He's a lefty tonight.
I tell you what, I picked. Earlier on the show, I picked the Astros in 6, but I think the Astros got totally outcoached last night. Dusty stayed too long with Verlander, and the Phillies' offensive approach was fantastic. They spoiled all those fastballs. And
And
love
they got deep into counts last night. They
Yeah.
they were taking a lot of pitches, and that's normally an American League type thing to do to make them pitch. But
They had a good offensive approach last night.
yeah,
So, if Dusty gets out coached like this through the series, maybe the Phillies can do something.
yeah, I picked them in 5. And I do know this much: if they win today, let's say the Phillies win this game today, and they go home up 2-0. I don't see the Astros winning 4 out of 5. Do you?
Astros are capable of anything.
I don't think that. I don't think against this is this team right here. I'll tell you. I just don't.
I think Altuve's about done. He's not been playing well.
Rob, would you fight Jose Altuve? Oh, if I had a bet in my hand, this would be Mike Tomlin's first losing season. Yes, and the more it goes, it looks like Tomlin may resign. That's what I'm hearing, and we'll see. And all I can say is this: if Mike Tomlin resigns and he starts putting out his paper out there for wanting to get hired, if at least 10 NFL teams don't go out here and try to get this guy, they're nuts. They're nuts. He's a class act.
Yeah.
He's won won all the time since he's been there. And
He knows what he's doing.
yeah, I think he's a good guy all around. And he generally gets a good defensive coach and good offensive coach around him. And it looks like to me, they're being a little short-sighted in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's booing him. Some of the Pittsburgh fans are booing him. And I'm like, you can't. Come on, the guy. Yeah, you talk about Philly being a tough crowd. How about that one now? Yeah, that's a tough one on me. So, yeah, if Tomlin, if you get fired, call Washington, and all I can say
I
is
wouldn't wish that on Tomlin though. Working for Daniel Snyder, I would not wish that on him.
Well, it might let him have a lot of the power. That's what he needs, is to get rid of some of that power. So I don't know. I'm gonna wish you a good weekend. We'll see how things go. We've got 3 games against each other this week, so we might only be 1 behind, and then again we could be 5 behind by the time the weekend's over with. So we'll see how things go. You have yourself a good weekend, my friend, and be safe. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.